Hi guys, you just wait for a bit. Let everyone come. We will start in a bit. Okay. So hi guys, welcome to the Flutter Forward Extended event. Let me know in the chat real quick if I am clearly audible and visible. Am I audible and visible? Okay. Got it. Thanks. So coming straight up to the point. We are here to learn about Flutter. So what is Flutter? Why there is so hype around it, making it a talk of the town, and it makes a real plus if you are applying to the product based roles to know Flutter. From the official definition, Flutter is an open source framework by Google for building beautiful natively compiled and multi-platform applications for a single code base. I know that that's a lot of technical jargon to throw at you, so let me simplify. Let's start with a story for analogy. Back in the days, we used to have separate code bases for the same app depending on the platform that is used to run. Like the same app will have a separate code base for running in Android, a separate code base for running in iOS, and like that for Windows and Linux, etc. So it created a maintainability issue because you needed more workforce to run the same app, and every platform has its own action issues like all dependency problems and all. So it made the work of a developer really difficult. So one day a developer sitting in the mountain view really thought like, what if we can have only one code base and it can run all the app, it can run the same app in all the platforms without any hassle. So that's the magic wand called Flutter. So without any further ado, I will hand over to my teammate Pritam to carry it forward and tell you more about the topic to you. So are you guys excited to know about this fascinating technology called Flutter? Let's see in the chat. How many of you are excited? Okay. 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 Over to you, Pritam.
Hi guys, hi everyone. I'm Preetham Dash from Techno in Salt Lake, pursuing BTech in Information Technology. So, how many of you guys have heard about Flutter before? You can say it in the comment. Okay, so let me start. Let me introduce Flutter to you guys.
After the norm.
Let me share my screen. Is my screen visible? Tell me in the chat box. Okay. Okay. Let me start. Let me introduce Flutter to you guys. Okay. What is Flutter? So, Flutter is an open source UI toolkit made by Google, which is used for building mobile, web, and desktop applications. Now, what is the beauty of Flutter? That it uses only one programming language. Okay, so that is Dart basically to create all kinds of applications, irrespective of its OS or platforms. It can, like, you write only one code and it's going to run on all the OS, like Android OS, web apps, etc. So henceforth, it is a cross-platform development. Okay. So before moving on, we have to know that what is like how Flutter has an edge over the native approach. Okay. So what is the difference between the native and the cross-platform development? Now, the native platform development allows you to build apps only for a particular OS. Okay, either Android or iOS. So, if you're building a native application for Android, you write only one code and it's going to run only on Android. For iOS, if you're making a particular application, you write a single code and it's going to run iOS only. Cross-platform development allows you to build apps for several OS. Okay, so this is the general point of view. Now we have to look in the from the developer's point of view as well. So from the diagram, you can see native approach uses the web view or the OEM widgets that are shipped with the device. Now you ask that what is this OEM? Okay, now OEM is nothing. It stands for original equipment manufacturer. Now, what does it mean? Okay, I'll give you an example. There's a company who manufactures its own products for its own factories. Okay, let's say just like the concept of made in India, made for India. Okay, so just like the same concept for widgets as well, OEM widgets are something that are made only for their respective native platforms. Okay, fine. So I'm giving a real life example. I love real life examples, honestly. It makes you help learn better. Have everyone heard about iMessage? I'm pretty sure you guys have heard about that. iMessage can only be used on iPhones, which run on iOS. You cannot use that. Okay, which I mean, if you're at the clock, instead, draw it. Okay, so have you guys understood? Now, I'm telling you a bit about.
Sorry for the network issue, guys. We will be back in just a few seconds.
Hello everyone. Am I audible? Uh, okay. So I think he is having some network issues. So let me continue. So he was saying about what Flutter is all about. Let me share my screen. Yeah. Okay, so he was giving a difference between what is native approach and what is like using Flutter and all. So the main difference that comes when we use Flutter is that we can, with single code base, we can actually build applications for different things like for Windows, for Linux, as well as for uh, I mean Android and iOS. Whereas when you are going into native builds, we can either build using Kotlin, that is for Android, or using Swift or something like that for iOS. So that's a big problem. So most of the companies are like today's are using Flutter for building cross-platform applications. Mostly Flutter is used for building Android and iOS applications. Web building Flutter is not that much optimized, but yeah, you can use that. So, what makes Flutter unique? Apart from so as per this diagram, we can see that in native approach there are VM widgets that comes inside the user interface. That is, whenever the user renders the interface, he has to first render the OEM widgets, and then comes the canvas and the events. I mean the elements in Flutter. But when it comes to Flutter approach, all the elements or widgets, I'll be discussing more about widgets in the latter section. So all the widgets are compiled in the Flutter backend only. So what the user gets interface is all about the canvas and the elements. That's the elements. So this makes Flutter unique. That is, it compiles to native code in the backend. Also, it does not rely on the OEM widgets. That happens in the backend only. Also, no bridge is required. That bridge means this thing, no bridge is required here. So that is why Flutter is more like optimized. And also that's no, not a markup language like HTML. That is, it does not click further compilation of HTML. So it's runs on Dart. So let us understand what is Dart. So Dart is like a client. Yeah, will help with installing Flutter. Sure. That is like a client optimized language for fast apps on any platform. Like how it works is right. It does not require a compiler like C. For example, in C language, we require GCC compiler, right, to run programs. But in case of Dart, it comes with Flutter only. So whenever the client is rendering the app, it compiles within the phone. So it's very optimized language. Now coming to the setup. So have you guys got a mail that was sent from our side where there were like two videos, one for VS Code setup and one for Android Studio setup. So have you guys gone through it? Anyone? Okay. You install Flutter. Yeah, that's only required. Flutter and Android Studio. Great. So I think most of the installation and setup is done. How many guys are ready with the setup? I mean, it's ready to run anything. I mean, till the video, till it was sent. Okay, ready. So now coming to how Flutter looks like, but how the structure is done. For example, you guys have done HTML there. We put div elements and then header elements and paragraph elements. So how it is done in Flutter? It should be similar, like so. In Flutter, everything is a widget. There are two types of widget. One is stateless widget and stateful widget. What are stateless widgets? Like the things that do not have states. I mean, I mean that if something changes, that thing won't change. For example, a text in an app, like there is something written in an app, that text won't change, right? For example, in a login page, the text fields like username and all that doesn't change. You have to put everything in the text field and then the login text field. So those comes under stateless widgets, right? And stateful widgets are those, for example, you are going for a page and there is a function called like, for example, there is function in Amazon, right? Sorry, someone's sound. Okay, fine. So there is a function in Amazon called adding in cart. So that whenever you add something in the cart, as soon as you put on the button that add on the cart, the cart value goes up, it increases, right? So that is all done by stateful widget. That is, it's keeping the state of that item, that two items are there in cart or three, and whenever he is pressing another button, it's increasing the item, right? So coming to next. So this is the basic structure in a Flutter app. The main outcome layer is a widget. Then we come under the material widget, and then it comes a scaffold and other elements or widgets. So I'll be discussing all these things in terms of code. Uh, Coming to layouts, Flutter also provides you with different types of layouts like container, box, or size box, or like things like grid and something like that. I'll be discussing that also through code. Coming to packages and plugins, Flutter provides you a extensive package solutions, that is through pub.dev. Let me show you once. So this is a website where Flutter provides you with various packages. So whenever you go to here, you can see packages like Flutter SVG. So what it does is Flutter does not help in SVG rendering. So this, if you install this package, you get the support for SVG also. In this way, there are numerous packages listed here. We'll be using 2 or 3 packages in the coding portion also. We'll be having a hands-on session. So you guys be ready, and we'll be having all it all together. Okay. Next. Yeah, Flutter gems. We'll be using them soon. This is future of Flutter. About this, I'll be going in latter parts. Okay. Now let us go to the code part. So how you guys will create a new project, right? Wait, let me close this. So you guys, so are you guys up to this? I mean, this screen is showing to everyone. Can you guys see this in Android Studio? Then I will proceed from here. Okay. So from here, you guys need to go on new Flutter project and then select Flutter from here and then select the Flutter installation path. Okay, got it? Yeah. When you do next, you will get this section. In this project name, we'll be doing a small project today with everyone. That is, we'll be making a movie app. For example, what it will does is, whenever I can list all the movies there, I can add movies, I can delete movies. So if I add movies, I can put, for example, I can schedule my movies. For example, I want a plan that I will watch 2 or 3 movies in the next month. So I can add movies there, schedule them, and also if it's I have already watched them, I can mark them as watched. Done. So let's name it as movie app. You got the idea, right? Whatever app I was saying. Hello. Okay, fine. So let's name it as movie app, and let's continue. For now, let's continue with Android and iOS only. Okay. So this is like the package name. For example, whenever you go to publish your apps on Play Store or something, this package names comes very important. So whatever you put here, this is unique package name. So this cannot be the same for 2 apps in Play Store. So whenever you are making a new app and you are making it for production, keep in mind that you change this example name. For example, I'll be giving it something like com dot. something like this. Okay, so let's create the project. Okay, so after you create the project, you will get something like this. Everyone got it. Till here, everyone is with me, right? Okay, fine. So I'll be sharing you a doc with you so that you can easily follow the steps that I'll be doing. I have put some of the codes there and you can easily follow that. Wait 1 minute. So this is a file that we'll be following while creating this whole app. So any problem you face in the code or if you don't understand whatever I'm writing here, you can follow this doc and you can, even after my session is ended, you can follow that and create on your own. So can you, is it opening correctly? Check once if it's opening. It's pinned. Okay, so it's pinned. Whoever wants to uh, go through it can go through it. So let us proceed. So what we see is here that this is like the main dot file. In this file, we can see that there's a main function that is actually running the app. And apart from that, there are options like stateless widgets and stateful widgets. Whatever I said earlier, stateless and stateful. So what this stateless widget does is it's like the initializer for the app. But this is actually running on Material app, so it will run on Material 3 UI that's provided by Google, and there are options for like theme data and all. So here what it does is there's an option for home. So it points home to my home page. That is nothing actually but this one. So whenever you will run this, let me show that also. Okay, so let me run this app. Let's see what we get. It takes some time in building this thing, so let's wait for the time. Until then, are you guys having any problem? Do let me know if you guys face any problem anywhere. Okay. All of you are running on Android Studio, or there is someone running on VS Code too. Let me know if you guys are running on VS Code also. Hello, Android Studio. So everyone is on Android Studio. Gaurav, you got this screen, right? Uh, you have made the initial Flutter create app and all. Got this, right? Okay. So this is the basic screen that Flutter provides. This is like a boilerplate screen that Flutter provides by default. And whenever we want to change, we can change. Now our task is to change the screen to the app we want to do. So how we will change that? So what is it actually? Let us understand that first. So it's actually nothing but this stateful widget. This homepage is all this stateful widget. So the stateful widget, there is a counter we can see. So what is the function here? If we increment this counter is rising. So all is done by the counter. Its initial value was 0, and whenever you are putting this plus button, it's increasing. So this is a function that is actually increasing the value. That is, the counter is getting incremented. Now, what is this set state? Set state is nothing but whenever we call set state, the whole page refreshes. We cannot see that, but in internally the whole page refreshes, and with each refresh, the counter is incremented. Now, coming to the layout, this is scaffold. The whole screen comes under scaffold. App bar. The app bar is nothing but this blue portion is called the app bar for the app. And there is written widget dot title. This is actually the title for our app. So it is written like that. And then comes this writing part. That is all inside a column. So both are like one below each other. So it is actually column. So what is there in column? We can see text. You have pushed this button this my times. This is the text we can see here, and the counter we can see at 6. So these are both the widgets that comes under this column, and this button is nothing but this floating action widget. Okay, so let's change this page. So what I'll be doing is I'll be creating inside the library folder. I'll be creating another file called homepage.
Sorry guys for getting disconnected. Uh, where was I? Like, at what point did I
Uh,
get disconnected? Can you tell me, Yash?
Okay, okay, wait. So I am doing with the hands-on part. After I'm done with it, you can continue with the future of that thing.
Okay,
I
okay,
mean
fine.
this one. Okay.
All right,
Okay. Till then, you can have a look at the chat and help everyone out there. So what I'll be doing is I'll be creating another page. So whenever you are creating a blank page, you have to do is first import the Flutter material thing. So for that, import package for Flutter and material dot dart. Then we need to create a stateful widget for home. So this is going to be home screen. Okay. So if everything is done, whenever you follow my note, that is whatever I've provided you, this one, let me explain this to you also. Uh, So here you can see that this is the code for the home screen. So I will be copying and pasting it there as it will take a lot of time to create the UI. Then I'll be giving you an explanation about what is all about. Okay. So let me copy it and quickly paste it there. Okay. So got it. So this is the layout that we'll build here. So this is scaffold again, and this is the app bar that we'll be seeing once we get it. So let's point this from our where was the pointer? My home page. to our home screen. So the home page initially was a home page that was provided by Flutter, but now we have coded our own home screen. So let's see what we have made. So it's going to be home screen, right? Okay. So let's do a hot restart. Okay. So this is the page we get. So let's understand how we did it. So here we can see that there is a app bar called there is a text called home in the app bar. So the app bar is colored is black. So we are giving the color as black, and the home is the text as home with color white. So this is all about the app bar. The app bar section is done. When you come to body, we have put everything as a column because everything is stacked one below another, right? So we have put a column, and then inside the column there is a container. For this watch movie section there is a container. So whenever we see this, these are all static data, right? We have not connected it to any database or something like that. It's all static. So container, and if I'm getting this, so I'm adding padding to it because over it and lower it there are some spaces. So I've aligned it in the center, and this is actually a button. So this is an elevated button, and it's written watch movies inside it. I can also add a page letter to it where clicking on watch movies it will open up another page. So you guys can see about this debug level, right? Are you guys up to this? Up to this page, have you guys covered till here? Hello, guys. You can read the code from the document that I have shared. So I think you should have done till here. Hello. So Gaurav, have you done it? Okay, done. Fine. So you can see this debug level right here, right? So we have to actually remove that. It's provided by default from Flutter. So for that, what we will do is here there is a something called debug show banner. We will give it to false. Okay. So as we do it, we can see that it's gone. Okay. So coming to the next part, we have done the home screen. So we can delete this part. So let's delete this part. This is the default home page provided by Flutter. For one more part. So we have basically created one page. This is a page. Now let us create another page. That page will be like whenever we'll be clicking on this movie button, it will open up another page for the movie details. So let's create that page. Let's name it as a movie screen. Similarly, here also we can create the screen. So let us put it from there. I have it there. So let's put it. So done. So this is a movie screen. I think I got the wrong page. Yes, I got the wrong page. Okay, wait. So this is a movie screen. Now let's see how the movie screen looks like. Then we'll be understanding about the structure. So let's point here from movie home screen to movie screen. So it's pointing from here to movie screen. There is something called image there. So I'm getting this unable to load assets. So we have to learn how to load assets in Flutter, right? So getting an image there we can do is first we have to go to pubspec.yml. Can you guys find this pubspec.yml? Then you need to go here, line number 62. There is something called assets. Just uncomment this part and you will get the assets. So we'll be creating a folder called assets and we'll be putting images there. So whatever image we put in that asset folder, we can actually fetch that in our app. So let's create another folder named assets and let's put some image there. Related to movie, right? So got one. Let's put it here. Okay. So I've inserted this image. I've inserted this image here. So now I need to load it here, right? So to load it here, what I need to do is I need to go to movie screen and let's. This is also in the same layout scaffold. Then app bar. The app bar is all about this. Now here comes one more thing that is this icon. So this icon is like going back to the previous screen. So there is no previous screen, so it just shut down. Let's restart it. Whenever we're adding navigation to it, we can actually go back to the home screen and come to this screen. So we can see the image, right? It got from here. This is the line that gave the image dot asset, and then we have to give the asset path for that image. Are you guys following? Have you guys been able to code these two pages? The codes are already given in that Notion document. So I think you guys have done it here. Any problems you guys are facing, okay, feel free to ask any problems you guys are facing. Yeah, you can use VS Code, not an issue. Are you having a problem with Android Studio? So I haven't installed Flutter and Android Studio. I'm watching the. Okay, good. So you can let her do it. Not a problem. I'm providing everything, whatever I'm doing here. Just watch it how I'm doing. I'll be saying a few things. Keep that in mind, or do a note of it, and you are fine. You can do it later also. Yeah, you can do in VS Code also. But if you are having any issues with Android Studio, some PCs might have issues with Android Studio, so you can continue with VS Code, not an issue. I would say that if you are facing any problem with Android Studio, don't use the emulator. Instead, here you have an option for device manager. There you can go to physical device. So pair up your physical device and use it. You won't have that much problem. Okay, so I can continue, right? You guys are up to this. Okay, so this is all. Now I want to watch trailer of the movie that I'm adding. So I can add the trailer link. I can watch it directly from here. So for that, I need to open an external URL. I will be going on that, but before that, let me correct the both the pages, the home screen and this screen. So this was a code for home screen and this was a for movie screen. So we know that our home screen would be this one. The base page will be home screen. So let's connect that again. So we are connecting the base page as home screen. We can see the home screen came as a base page. And then we'll be connecting the, when we'll be clicking on this movie, movie 0, we'll be getting to that page. So let's see how we do that. This is actually the tile that is doing all the thing here. So here everything is coming under this list view builder and these are the containers. So what I have to do is I have to put a inkwell in this container so that whenever a inkwell is nothing but just a widget that helps you clicking on widgets in its child widget you can click. So I have to put something called inkwell here. So let me put that widget. Okay, good. I'll put inkwell here and then I'll put here on tap. So whatever copilot is giving, but it's actually wrong. Okay, so now it's right. So on tap, we have to write navigator dot push context. This context we're getting it from here actually build context. It's the context of the whole app. And then we are using material page router. You can use different page animations. Also, you can set up custom animations in Flutter, and then you can give them in page animations. But by default, we can use page material page router. And then in builder we are giving changing the context to the movie screen. So as we move to movie screen we can see whether it's working or not. Let's have a look. There is some issue here or what? Okay, yeah, now it's good. So it restarted. Let's see. Yeah, so whenever I'm clicking on this page I can go to the next page and this is all. Now the next thing that we need to do is we need to activate this watch trailer button. So whenever we are clicking on this watch trailer, we should go to some page where the trailer for the movie is hosted. For example, it can be YouTube or IMDb or something like that. I mean, just a link opener. Normally, if I want to open this, it won't open. So I have to put something like I have to use extensions. So what a extension is in Flutter. So here I need to search something like URL launcher. Let's search. I get this URL launcher. So this is the package that is used for navigations in external websites. For example, if you want to put any external links in your Flutter app, use this package and you can easily do that. So we have to put the use this package in this. So I have to first import this package. So whenever you are installing any package from this page, you need to go to the installing thing. So whenever you go to this installing part, you will get something like this called dependencies, URL launcher, and an import statement. So first copy the dependency and you have to paste it to pubspec.yml. So this is where you have to paste it. Now it's a dependency. Here you have to paste it and then run Flutter pubget as Android Studio provides built-in features. So I can directly go for pubget, or if you're using VS Code, you can do Flutter pubget. Once it's done, I can go here and then import it here. It's the same import statement that is written here. It's written here. So once I'm importing it, then whenever I'm going to this place, I need to first every URL in Flutter is considered in the format of URI. So you have to parse it in that format first, and then you can only launch it. You cannot launch URLs from as a string. So what I did here is I took the link as a string and then passed it as URI in the front name of a URL and then launched it using launch URL, which comes from the package, that is URL launcher package. Flutter also provides a very good facility, that is whenever you are having any confusion on anything, just hover on it and it provides every details about it. For example, whenever I hovered on launch URL, it provides me the package it belongs to, also how to use it, and different types of type it accepts. So this is how can do it. Let's try out if it works out or not. Okay, so whenever I click on this next, if I want to click on the, it should open YouTube, but you can see that it's giving something like asynchronous suspension. This is because when I've built the app, I've not let the app know that I'll be opening an external launcher. So it's not ready to open an external launcher. So for that, I need to stop this and rebuild this and it will be open. Just stop it. Are you guys understanding properly whatever is being said? I have a beautiful challenge for you guys after this. After I'm done with this, you guys can join in that challenge and you might get some cool rewards out of that. That challenge will be everything built on this app only. So if you are guys are having any problem understanding this, just you can see. So it's installing, I guess. Yeah, done. So let's open it up and watch trailer. Okay, so it opened up YouTube, the trailer link that I gave. Let's get back to the app. Okay. So this is done. We have successfully done 2 pages and we can do navigation from this page to this and back here. Okay. So now we have to do something called whenever we'll be clicking on this tick, it should update and this watch movie number should update. So we have to use something. Before that, we need to do one thing, that is wherever I've put measurements, I've put in constant formats. But whenever you are doing some app on production level, you cannot actually do those things in this format. This will actually cause problem whenever you are building it on some other phones. The different phones have different sizes. Like for example, when it comes to very small phones, it will have problem. So for that, you can use media queries. For media queries, you have to write something like size. I've given this in the document also. You can follow that. Uh, That would be easy for you actually. Okay, content. Okay, to put it inside this. So whenever I put it inside this, it does a media query on the whole screen and takes the screen size as the whole size. And whenever I can put sizes after it, it will put it like in respect to the whole screen. So there will be no things like overflowing or something like that. So whenever I need to put some,
Uh, Priyashu, your audio is muted. I guess you are facing some issue over there.
hello, hello. Now it's okay.
Yeah, yeah, now it's okay.
For how many time it happened? How long it happened?
Around 5 minutes.
Okay. So I need to continue from I think from here. So what I told was about a responsive design. It was done. Did you guys got it? Like about responsive design, I told using media query and all. Okay, you thought your headphones are having problem. Okay. So am I done with the media query part? Have you guys got it? Or this part was also muted?
This was muted. This was muted.
Muted, na?
Yeah.
So I earlier I gave all the sizes like this. Let me do this screen also. So I gave sizes in padding like constant sizes, right? 20, and then for size box, so I gave 20. So all this thing I can do in responsive design in such a way that whenever I'm posting this app or installing this app on some other phone, it does not have any problem. Otherwise, if I'm giving this type of constant sizes, it will have problem like overflowing and all that we normally have in web also. When we're doing web development, you do you use REM and something like that, right? So this also we can use here. For example, all we have to do is right. I use media query here. That is size. And then put these things, use this size here. So we have a padding here for the whole column, so this is 20, right? So let's say size It's horizontal, so we'll be using width for it. So size dot width into something. Well, it's giving okay. So if there is constant, this is not constant, now. So it's giving issue with the constant. So let's remove the constant. Like that. Okay, so it's that. It's quite similar, so you cannot see the difference. But if I'm changing this value to something around 9 or something like that, you can see the changes, right? So this is the difference that comes when you use a constant size and when you use variable size. Similarly, you can change these things here also. For example, here I can do this like this. Again, remove the constant part. Okay, so this is the difference you can see. If I'm increasing it to some other value, it will go lower. Okay. So coming to next part, this was all about responsive designing in Flutter. Coming to next part, what I'll be doing is that whenever I'll be clicking on these check boxes, this watch movie counter, this value will increase. So let's see how to do that. So first I need to use a package for this state management. The package that I'll be using for state management is this provider. It's available in pub.dev. So to again to install this provider, I need to go through this install thing and then put this in the pubspec.yml import statement in this in the home screen for provider. And we need to create another thing. Now this giving a error because I have not yet done the pub.get. So whenever I'll be doing this pub.get thing, it will solve this error. It's actually loading the assets. For example, if you are working in React, then we do like React install and the whole set of code runs and then the package loads. Similarly, here also a similar thing happens. I mean npm install. So it's done. So let's create the provider now. So I'll be creating a called provider. So here I'll be create a file called movie provider. And another for provider, I need a model. So most of you who will be working on backend things, like they will be hear the name called model. It's actually for fetching backend data to front end. But for provider, you can also use model for putting whatever data you'll be using. You can put that in a model and then fetch again from that model. So it is like movie model. Okay. So let's make a model for movie first. Plus movie and then we can put everything. What are this? Movie has a name. Wait, 1 minute. I have put this. Okay. So there we can add another field like duration, movie duration. For now, I'm taking duration also in string, but if you wish, you can take it in int also. Not an issue. Yeah, right. With model, we just have to define the structure of the data that we want to receive. Yes. But here we won't be connecting it to any backend. We'll be using it just to keep the structure intact. Like for example, if you want to access the name of any movie, we can just do movie.name. So in that case, we can use it in that way. So we are done with the model. Now let's create a provider. So I'll be creating a provider from here. The doc I provided. Okay, so this is the provider. Mm. So to work on the provider, I need to have another thing called data, right? So let's create a data also that will be a static data. So new data, data will be this. Oh, okay, so we got the data. Whatever data will be like movie, then a index like 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Movie description will be movie description as of now, and then the duration will be something random in between 1 to 100 and plus 60 with that. And trailer URL, I've put a constant one here and the image URL for the movie night one. Okay, so I'll be using that here also. Deleting both part. We got the movie, we got the model. Okay, so we are done with the provider and we are done with the movie data. And also our model is ready. So are you guys clear up to this? Okay. Have you guys been able to do it with me? Actually, I was too fast. So if you guys need any help, I can wait. Not an issue. You can do it till here, right? Okay, fine. You guys are too good. So done till here. Next, I'll be implementing this in here, this list. Okay. So I'll be implementing this whole provider thing in this list. So let's see how it's done. First, we need to call the provider here. Uh, Let me do it real quick. This thing is there, and I need to get the movies. So movies. First, so it will be like we need to watch on the context dot watch. Then we need to put movie provider inside it. Okay, so let's import the movie provider. Done. So here we get the movies. So it is actually the all give all the movies that are stored in there. So let's fetch it now. So to fetch it, we need to go something movie index list style. So we need to change here. We need to do here movies dot length. Currently there are around 10 movies. Okay. So and in the movie data we have provided here with 20 things. It will auto generate 20. So let's see if it's done or not. Movie length and then 1 minute. We need to put the current movie here. Current movie. Current movie. Then done current movie and then put everything around here. Current movie dot name. Current movie dot let's put duration here. Current movie dot duration. Okay, it's constant. And another thing, I think it's done till here. It's done. So let's restart it. There is some problem, right? It's saying that what is it saying? Let's see. Could not find provider above the home screen widget. That's because we have not included the provider in the main file. So we have to first include this in the run app section, and then only we can use this provider here. So to do that, we need to do something like this. So this is a part of the provider. This is okay. So got any brackets missing or what? Some bracket is missing. Now it's fine. I think it should work now. Yeah, it's working. Let's see if we are having 20. Yeah. So we got 20 movies and we got this. Now we have to configure this button, right? Still now it's not working. So we have to configure this. So to configure this, we need to add one another list. So in our movie provider, we can see there is only one list called movie list of movies. So we have to add another movies of watch movies. Any queries? Okay, no, no queries. So for that, let's add another provider that will be for watch movies. Stop movies, watch movies, okay. And then, yeah, right. So we got this. Now we have to add functions to add movies here and remove movies here. So let's add that too. Okay, so Copilot is providing everything. Yes. So these are the two functions, add watch movies and remove watch movies. So what we need to actually do is whenever we click on this button, we have to say that add the movie, and whenever if it's already added and we click again, we need to say that remove the movie. So let's see how it's done. This is the icon. Now this is a constant icon here, right? We need to change it. Before doing that, let's quickly change the icon on this of that thing. And another thing we need to do is we need to set another provider for watch movies. Yes. So watch movies, we got another provider, and here we need to change this as per that thing. Watch movies dot contents, and within that contents will be the current movie. If watch movie contains this thing, then this icon should come, and if it doesn't contain this thing, then this icon should come, right? Am I right or I'm writing the opposite thing? Let me check. Yeah, actually I wrote the opposite thing. Yeah, now it's fine. So whenever I will click on this, it should add, and now I need to put the on press function here. For that, I need to first check that whether it contains the current movie or not. And if it contains the current movie, I need to remove that. And if it does not contain the current movie, then I need to add it. Okay. So let's try it out if it's actually working or not. Okay. So it's working. Now we have to change this numbers for this. So where is that text? Let me watch movies. So here we need to put a variable. So to put a variable in Flutter, I mean in Dart, what we need to do is need to put a dollar symbol, then curly braces, and then watch movies dot length. Again, constant issue. I think it should work now. Yeah, it's zero, and whenever I'm clicking on these things, let's make this green. So it's done. Whenever I'm selecting this, this value is getting incremented, and whenever I'll deselect it, it's getting decremented. Are you guys done till here? Let me know. Okay. Um, Gaurav, done. Got this provider thing. It's kind of a little advanced concept because making the basic UI and all that comes on the basic part where whenever you are going to make any app in the production level, you have to use state management things like this. There are also advanced packages for this like Riverpod and Block and something like that. When you are done with provider and stuff like this, you can move on to Riverpod or Block. First, you need to understand about all this. So this was all about today in Flutter, like building up the basic UI and making this work, making this counter work. And with this, we learned about how to build the UI and how to make some basic state management stuff here, and then how to do navigations around here. You can do one thing as a part of your challenge is that I'll be publishing this whole project on GitHub as public. I'm giving my GitHub link also. You guys can complete this whole project like adding a page for watch movies and adding a page for this plus button. You can add it like a form and then you can add movies there. And then you can fetch those movies here in this list instead of these demo things. So in this way, you can raise a peer to my branch, and whoever raises the best peer will get a gift from my side. That's for sure. And I think you guys have enjoyed this. If you guys are having any query, please do feel free to ask me. Hello. Okay, thank you. If you guys are having any problem or you face any problem related to Flutter or you have any query related to Flutter, feel free to ask me and feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn. Here is my LinkedIn link. Thank you guys.
Thank you guys. We will be ending the session here. Thanks for coming, and we hope you will continue the project like Priyashu showed. Hope to see you in the next session. Bye.